achieve Khushu and Khuzu in our Salah, inshallah Aziz. It's going to be about 20 minutes, about 25 minutes, no more than that, inshallah Aziz. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه اللهم اسلمنا من الشيطان الرجيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي وصلى الله تعالى على خلقه محمد وآله أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. I'll begin inshallah with one verse of Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون صدق الله العظيم. Successful indeed are the believers who have khushu in their salah. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, we will only have from your prayers that which you focus on. My dear brothers and sisters, achieving khushu and full focus in prayer has been an ongoing difficulty and issue for most of us. And some of us worry so much about it that we begin to doubt the acceptance of our own salah because we were not able to focus. Most of the time, in 20 minutes, this topic is very important to understand, and I need you to focus and reflect upon what I'm saying so that you can benefit from it. Most of the time, when we are praying habitually or regularly, we are on autopilot. We are on cruise control. We may have some partial attention and focus on some aspects of our salah. For example, when we begin the salah, we say Allahu Akbar, we focus. We may recite the beginning dua for salah, we may focus. When we are moving into ruku and sujood, we may focus. But then outside of this, until we say Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah, we are on autopilot. Why is it that many a times when we are offering salah, we don't remember how many rak'ah we read? Many of us may not remember what surah did I read in the last salah, in the last rak'ah. Imams, when they are reciting the Quran, they may forget if they pray 3 or 4. They may forget a word as they are reciting the Quran. This is a common problem with us. It is because we are on autopilot. We don't remember what we recited, how many rakats did we pray, and also make mistakes in the recitation of the Quran. And it is not avoidable because we cannot stop the thoughts going to our heads 24/7. So here is what happened in the salah. You get into a car and you make intention to go to Superstore or Costco or wherever you're going. You make that intention, you get into the car, you start the car, you put it in reverse or forward, you put in road, and then you're listening to some music, you have your earbuds on, you may be on phone, You may be looking at some things, but the car keeps going by itself to Costco. You're not paying attention, am I right? You're not focused. The car keeps going to where you intended it to go. That's exactly what happens in our salah. We say we are going to now pray 3 rakat of Maghrib, and you say Allahu Akbar, and you listen to the Imam. You may be listening to him or not listening to him. Your body is an autopilot. And as I said, it is not avoidable. So, is there any way to achieve good focus in Salah? Yes, there is. Absolutely, there is. But for this, we first need to understand how our mind and memory work. What brings focus to what we are doing, and how and where these memories are stored and retrieved. So, I was to ask you a question, brothers. Where do memories live? Where do memories reside? What would you say? That's right. They reside in your brain. You will be surprised when I tell you they don't only reside in your brain. Memories reside in your entire body. Understand this. Memories reside in our entire bodies. Every piece, every part of our body remembers what needs to be done at a certain time. Am I right? Every part of our body remembers what to do at a certain time. When I am eating food, my stomach is already preparing for digesting it because it remembers. He's eating the food. I'm going to prepare myself to digest it, so it releases acid for the food to break down, and the process begins. Memories reside in our entire bodies. And I'm saying this on the basis of Quran. It's not the psychology. Although science now, as early as in the fall of 2025, there was a research published precisely studying, do memory only resides in the brain? And they came to the conclusion that no, the memories reside in your entire body. Now I'm going to recite a few verses, 2 verses of Quran for you to understand what I'm saying. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون. صدق الله العظيم. شهد عليهم سمعهم وأبصارهم وجلودهم بما كانوا يعملون. وما كنتم تستترون أن يشهد عليكم سمعكم ولا أبصاركم ولا جلودكم ولكن ظننتم أن الله لا يعلم كثير مما تعملون. Obviously, these 2 verses are warning us to be mindful of what you're doing, because in the day of judgment, your body parts will be given speech, the power of speech, and they will speak up and say what they were being used for. Subhanallah, how is that going to happen? It cannot, this shahada from the body parts cannot happen if they did not remember what you were doing. Are you with me? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala confirms this in the Quran. That the body parts, don't be ignorant and say, I can do whatever I can, but you will never be able to, stop your body parts from giving witness against you. That's how we know that our body parts remember everything we do, and especially everything we habitually do. Let me repeat this. Our body parts remember everything that we do, and especially habitually we do. And knowing this gives you access to the memory of past, which you might have forgotten. This knowledge gives you access to the memories of the past of what your hands, your eyes, your tongue, and your feet were busy doing. So, if for a minute you focus on your eyes, say for example, and ask your eyes, what have they been seeing all along as you were growing up? What kind of things have they been seeing? Images will start popping up. Try it. You will be surprised. The images of what you were doing and your eyes have been seeing will all keep coming back to your mind. This is why we have been asked to mind our gaze, not to look upon haram things, because those images are saved by the eyes and they will come back to you in your salah. If you ask your eyes, your ears, if you ask your hands and your feet, where have they been going as they were growing up? What kind of places were they visiting as you were growing up? What kinds of things you normally did yesterday, day before, after that? It would all come to your mind very quickly because you're not tapping into your own ability to think and recover those memories. You're tapping on your body parts to tell you what you were doing. SubhanAllah. This is ajib. If you want to know how many sins your eyes have committed, if you want to know how many sins or good things your hands have done, focus on them and ask them, tell me all the good and bad things that you have been doing. And these hands will throw images in your mind about what they've been doing. This is amazing. This knowledge helps us now with our Khushu and Khuzu. I'm teaching you something that you never heard before. It's all based on our understanding of the Quran and the human nature. The mind is something with which we think. Am I right? The mind is something with which we think. Some of these thoughts are intentional, And large numbers of them are not intentional. They just pop up, am I right? And this goes on 24/7. Am I right? You, I, nobody in this entire world, no human can stop it. This cannot be stopped. So for Khushu and Khuzu, we need to understand how the mind and the memory work. I'm going to teach you something to focus in the Salah, and I'm going to teach you to recite what are you going to recite in the Salah that you will not forget. That you will not forget. Number one, when you make the intention for a Salah, it's just like you made the intention to go to Costco. I'm making it very simple, too easy for you to understand. You make the intention for a specific Salah. That intention is just like you're making intention to go somewhere in your car. And after you make the intention and you put the car started and put in the gear in Salah, when you make the intention and say Allahu Akbar and hold your hand, you start reciting something. Do this. You know what you need to recite, am I right? You know what you need to recite. And the body knows it, and your tongue knows it. They know what you're going to recite. So when you say Allahu Akbar and you start reciting, you do not recite with your mind. You do not recite from your memory of your mind. Instead, focus on your lips and your tongue. Repeat. Do not focus on your memory. Do not depend upon your memory to recite what you want to recite. Instead, focus your mind on your lips moving and your tongue and let them do the recitation. They will not make mistake. The tongue and the mouth will not make mistake. Why? Because they're not thinking about anything else. The mind is thinking about 50,000 other things. The tongue is not. The tongue does not have any other thoughts. Your lips don't have any other thoughts. They only are singularly focused. So when you bring your focus singularly on your lips and your tongues reciting, now you're focused. In your salah, you're now focused because you're focused and you're keeping your focus on your tongue and your lips. And remember what the mind does. When mind is focused on something and paying attention, it does not drift. You see somebody, when they're really, really focused on their device, they don't care what's happening around them. Just keep doing this. Because they're so intensely focused on this device that this mind does not drift. When you do this intentional focusing on your lips moving and your tongues moving, your mind doesn't drift. And you let the tongue and the lips do the recitation. And you would notice something. When you do this, you would notice that the tongue is reciting with proper tajweed as you've learned. Allahu Akbar kabira. Your tongue and your lips would recite properly with the tajweed that you've learned. And your mind, through the images of your eyes, will put those words in front of you as they are being recited. What I'm teaching you is not something that are in the books. It is experience. It is experience. What I'm teaching you, I know it works because I have experienced it. So let's do this for a minute. I would like all of you to close your eyes. Let's do this experiment. Close your eyes and make an intention to recite either a surah or some verses of Quran that you generally recite in your salah. When you make this intention, close your eyes, focus on your lips and your tongue, and intend it to recite this. Don't use your brain, don't use your mind. Just see how the tongue and lips move. Stay focused on your tongue and your lips and see how they move and keep reciting it. Try it. You would get used to it if you get used to reciting the salah like this. Your mind will not drift because they will be so intensely focused on how the lips are moving and how the tongue is moving. And they will do their job. And your body part know when to go to ruku, when to go to sujood, what tasbihah to do, let them do it. You just focus on what the body is doing. And you would have very good khushu and khuzu in your salah. Does that make sense? Any questions? And the tongue, lips and the tongues. And that's what you're focusing on. And don't use your brain to recite. Let them recite. Because if you use your brain to recite, you may get confused. Like sometimes when you know that the Imam is reciting the Quran, and then he forgets a verse, or he forgets or mispronounces a special word, and then he has to repeat himself because he's using his brain. He has probably recited that verse of Quran, this surah of Quran, hundreds of times. But because the brain doesn't stop from other thoughts, sometimes he gets confused. Focus on the lips and the tongue would really bring some khushu. Is there a way to understand what you're reciting? Absolutely. When you are focusing on the lips and the tongue, actually you're focusing on what is being recited at the same time. Not just the movement, not just the movement, but also what you're reciting. And like I mentioned, if you include your eyes with it as well, then the eyes will show exactly what's being recited as pictures in your mind as well. It is absolutely amazing. And the reason they don't is because they don't have any other thoughts. It is the other thoughts that confuse us. It is the intervening thoughts that confuse us. Tongue and lips don't have any other thoughts. When you say, recite Surah Fatiha, that's all it does. And it cannot be confused or interfered with unless you bring your mind into it.
Focusing on the recitation to bring the understanding that will create the image.
Exactly. Exactly. And again, for those people who are not Arab, who are Ajam like me, when we are reciting the Quran, we don't understand what we're reciting most of the time, anyways. Which is why it is easy for non Arab people to lose focus because we don't understand what we're reciting. For non-Arab people, for Ajami people whose language is not Arab and who don't have enough knowledge of the Arabic language, that as they recite, that they know what am I reciting. So for those people, it's especially useful. So especially like when you're following the Imam. Now you're not reciting it yourself. You're just following the Imam. So at that time, obviously you cannot practice what I'm teaching you to practice because the Imam is reciting for you. So then you focus on what Imam is reciting through his mouth, what's coming out of his mouth, and focus on that. As long as you can maintain your focus on something, your salah would have khushu and khuzu, mindfulness, and would inshallah work and make up a salah. Allah accepts our salah anyways. But we would have peace with ourselves with our salah. Make sense? Any other questions? Well, then that's where we'll stop. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى سيدنا محمد وآله وسلم. سبحان ربنا علينا على البحار ربنا تقبل منا صلاتنا وقيامنا وركوعنا وسجودنا ودعانا يا رحيم. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وقنا عذاب القبر وقنا عذاب الحشر وقنا عذاب الميزان. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا راشدين. اللهم توفنا مسلمين والحقنا بالصالحين غير خزايا ولا مفتونين. اللهم اغفر لأمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم ارحم أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم أصلح أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم تجاوز عن أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم فزهم اللهم انصرهم بكل مكان من كل سوء يا الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا رب. لا إله إلا الله. وإياكم.